All right. Let's check the audio here. See what we got. Seems like you guys can hear me. All right, everything seems good. So we're pretty much opening up right where we closed at yesterday on the Nasdaq. You can see we closed at 425, right there at the 420 area right now. Had that news at 8:30. You can see it took us higher, pushed us above the VWAP there. Kind of looking at the ES here. Got a couple of zones marked out on the ES. Below 85, we'll be looking for a short, maybe down into the lows, 70s. And then really for longs, we're looking for this to kind of reclaim the 20. If it reclaims the high a day, kind of turns that into some support here at the 04 area. So we might look to take a long into the 20. So we'll just kind of see what happens once the market opens up. Once it opens up and gives us the information we need. So you can see we sold off right there. We opened up with a gap to the downside yesterday at 6 o'clock. So actually that's where we opened at. Let me see where we actually closed at 4 o'clock. Yeah, so 4 o'clock we actually were at 485. So we do have a gap to the upside a little further there. Let's go ahead and mark that out. Kind of in an area of an interest there. Maybe we push there at open. I guess it would help if I put it in the right spot. Can't see it all the way over there. Where did the ES close at yesterday? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Good morning, Predator. How you doing? Let's see, because that's where we opened. So it looks like the ES. Let's look at the 4 o'clock. 42.14. 42.14 on the ES there would kind of be the gap fill. So we'll mark that out too. So if we start pushing it open, maybe that's an area of interest that might draw us to. We shall see. I am at a hotel today, so I don't know if the internet is a little slower, but seems to be working okay so far. So it's kind of the idea for today. Let's see what happens here at open. We got about 12 minutes until we open up. We'll kind of go from there. 12 minutes until the goodness begins. Jason, how's it going? Good morning. We finally hit the 400 subscriber mark. It took forever, but we got there, at least to the 400. So we'll continue to see if we can't push. If you guys aren't interested in trading futures, then you can see we got the 91% off code. 90% off for Apex. Link in the description, code right there in the banner. There is also a 90% off code for Bulanox. Let's see what that is. they changed the code. I hate that they do that. So every time they do that, you have to go back in there and update your code information. Don't remember what the code is. Let's take a look and see. So it is CMUAC. CMUAC. Let's get that. Let's update that code. We'll just put it in the chat for now. I'll have to update it later. There you go. So we just threw that into the chat there. Yeah, Jason, it's 90% off the first month and then 80%. Or actually, I don't know. Bulanox might be 90% off both. Let me look. Captain Obvious, looks like NQ might fill last night's opening volume up. Acting as resistance now. Yeah, already pushed up into the 25s there. If you zoom out, that is that gap from that opening range there. That's what I'm saying. We marked it out up here. Maybe that's an area that it kind of draws to right there at open. It's not that far up. So it's not that far up. Huh. Streamlabs is actually working. That's odd. So on Bulanox, Jason, I'm pretty sure it's, let me just read it right quick. 90% off. It looks like 90% off is not just for the first month. That's for every month. So it also renews at 90%, which is nice. On Bulanox. Apex is 90% off for the first month, 80% off every month thereafter. So depending upon which one you want to go with. I like both. Obviously, I use both, but you could go with either one. I do like Bulanox in the fact that you can trade the news. The only real negative about Bulanox is if you do higher than the 50K account, the price to activate the account does change. And so to me, that's a little odd. You know, they really should just keep it the same. But they don't. But if you stick with the 50K account, it's fine. If you stick with the good old 50K account, it's the same. I think it's 148, 149, whatever it is to activate it. You tried your code for Bulanox the other day and it said it was invalid. That's because they change it. And like, so this one I just put in the chat here, CMUAC, all capital. They changed the code. It drives me nuts. And so like I have to check it every month. So even when they go from like a 90 to an 80 or an 80 to a 40, the code up changes, and I don't always catch it. So that could be why. You can always email me. My email's in the about section of the channel there if you ever have that happen. I'm pretty good about checking it. So if you ever have that happen, you can just shoot me an email and I can let you know. All right, so Mancini just tweeted out. Let's take a look at it. See what it says. Let's see what this new tweet says. Well, it said he tweeted something new, but I don't see it. There it is. Quick follow through on the ES when in downtrend. Squeezes are always the #1 risk to watch for. Today, 85 to 90 was the squeeze trigger as posted, and we broke it and squeezed. Almost at 42.05, first target, key resistance, decision point, then 42.20, 25 above. 85 must hold or we resume lower. You can see we already have that information kind of marked out here. 85 is the support. We got that there. And then we kind of want to see, push up into this 20 area. Or, maybe we retest the 85 and we could take a long from there. It's probably going to be my idea for the trade on ES anyways. Make sure my ATM strategy is right, because that was definitely wrong. Yeah, usually I probably would have noticed the code wasn't working, or that it had changed, but seeing as I'm on vacation, I don't see everything I'm supposed to see. And one of my screens kind of broke, so we got about 5 minutes here until the market opens. I'm going to try to make some money today and see what we can do. And I'm doing a little vlog here, so we'll have that posted as soon as we're able to. Sometime next weekend or this weekend, maybe Sunday, if we can get it together. Let's see how today goes. I'm in Connecticut. We went to Mohegan Sun last night. Did a little gambling, played poker, and then I threw a little money down on the roulette table, just for some action. And today we're gonna go to Foxwoods for a little while. I'm up a little bit on the trip right now, just a few $100s, nothing crazy. So today will kind of probably be pivotal in determining whether we come home with money or not. If we have a bad day today, then we may not. Of course, I'll still play tomorrow. I'll go to the little local casino tomorrow. So, see what happens. We tried to do a little fishing yesterday, but struck out. There's no fish in the ocean. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. There's no fish in there. If you didn't know, you know now. There's no fish in there. So basically here at open, I'm going to be looking for, we're already at the highs here. I'd like to get a pullback. If we just bust through the highs, we may just take a momentum trade, maybe up to the 80s, and we'll go from there. It might be a bit on the aggressive side, but sometimes that's what you got to do. I'd really like a pullback into open, maybe into this 90 area would be nice, and then the break of 400 we might could participate. I don't know that we'll get that, but it's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's what my friend says, Stuart. You guys will see him on the vlog. He strikes out and then he goes, "There ain't no fish in there." It's only the ocean. They may not be in there. I guess we're up north, so they swim south for the winter or something like that. All right, got about a minute here until it opens. I guess we can turn on the camera today. You can see I'm just in a hotel, so it doesn't matter really. All right, let's see what happens. Lighting's not the greatest, but that's all right. like to see a little pullback into the 400s right here at open. Then maybe we can take a long 390s, 400 area. Maybe, I mean, I don't know that we'll test the VWAP. That would even be nicer, but we'll see what we can't do here. Coming into the open. Starting to pull back. See sellers kind of popping through there. All right, there comes some buyers. See the WADA jumping around. Sell, sell, sell here, pulling back. It's kind of what we wanted. Let's pull back, find a little support here. Maybe we can participate long. There's the 400s. Just watching. Now, if we don't hold 90, then we'll be considering a short, but 90 is kind of the area we want to see it hold. Let's see what happens. So bouncing off the 90 there. Let's see if she can go or not. Or is she going to just sell right through? So I'm not seeing the buyers come through that I want to see yet. All right, now we'll take a long. See if we can't get this pushed through the 30s quickly here. There we go. Nice little $600 winner. I'm also long over here on another account. Up $1,000 on this one. Let's move this up. Maybe to that 50 area. Locking in some here already. Can't lose. Locking in, I think $800. Can't lose on it. Wanting more. Give us the 50 here. I'm going to lock it in up here a little bit, just below that candle there. All right. So nice, easy reads right out of the open there. That's what I like. So making $591 on that first account. And just trying to look the other one up here to see what we got on it, but I know it was over 1,000. Where's that account at? Too many accounts over here trying to find the P&Ls on $1,140. So starting off the day right there, like basically $1,700 quick and easy. Thanks, Predator. What in the world is going on? This stuff is just blinking on and off. You know, hotel Wi-Fi, what can you do? Hopefully hopefully it stays on. There's that push right through the 50s. Probably moved my stop a little bit too soon. That's all right. So let's take a quick look. I got all kinds of stuff blinking over here, guys. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see, to be honest. All right, this is supposed to be on the ES. What in the world? Let's make sure it's still on the right account. It is. Okay. Where are my zones at? Oh, that's not the ES. The struggles are real over here. I don't even see the zones anymore. That I had marked out. All right, I see the stream lagging there a little bit, guys. Sorry. Like I said, on the internet, on the Wi-Fi of the hotel, so I marked out the zones on the ES and they're gone now. They are gone. Hold on. Everything keeps blinking off. So pulling back now, didn't quite get to that gap fill. All right, I was trying to pull up. I don't see it, but it's fine. Oh well. I was trying to pull up the. I thought maybe the ES stuff was on a different chart, but for whatever reason, it's not. So anyways, getting kind of a pullback here. ES pushed up into 05. You wanted to turn that kind of 02 area into some support there. Hard to take trades when you when you don't when your stuff's not working. All right, let me try to reduce some stuff on here. I don't want this thing to blink so much. I got a lot open. Try to reduce what I can. So I've got about 9 minutes left on this 15-minute opening range. All right, so we can see we're pushing the explosion line is kind of pushing back towards that dead man there. So I took a couple of quick trades there. I'm happy with that. $591 here, $1,100 over there. Yeah, I'm still looking for an entry here on the ES. Just kind of looking for a little consolidation here, and we'll take a little breakout trade here if we get it. Let's see, 90. I mean, more of an idea might be a pullback into the 80s. We know 85 was that first zone, and then 20 was kind of the second target up there. Let's kind of see what happens here. I hate when the internet blinks, though. Look what it is. It like turned everything off. So we may take a little larger size here and just look for 5 handles. Let's look for 5 handles. Actually, we'll just look for 4. We'll just do a 1-to-1 type deal on this. So Nasdaq pulling back here. ES tested the 95s. We'll wait and see what happens at this 85 area, that VWAP area, if we get there. So Nasdaq pulling back, tried to push up and fill that gap, was kind of unable to, but close enough. So we left a little bit on the table there, but not a ton. Could have got more. I guess we could have got double the points, but that's all right. We set our target and we took it. So ES pulling back, Nasdaq testing the 90s. So the idea for the short here might be a push down, push back up, retest the 90, You could take the short down into the 60 possibly. But you'd want to see a little pop back up here. Let's see if we get that. If we get a pop back up to the 90 here, we may participate short. So just kind of watching the Nasdaq here. Get a little pop back into the 90. Before we get to the VWAP. If we get to the VWAP first, then obviously I'm not going to take that. Captain Obvious, ES rejected off the gap. Yeah, it's true. We have a pivot down there at the 29, so that's a well. All right, so let's retest the 90. Retest 90 here. I'm going to take the short here. Short stop on it. Yeah, I tried. I didn't give it enough rope. Didn't give it enough rope there. We may re-enter. Just kind of watching the WADA. Really want to see the sales come through first, but we don't have a lot of room here. I tried to just front run it there and kind of enter. Typically, I like to see the sellers come through first. So I was kind of watching it here. Sellers keep coming through. We'll stay in. If we see green, we'll get out. Gave it back there. It's fine. Should have stuck with my original entry. Got a much better. I do that a couple times. I've done that before. So I kind of sold at the 78s there. We were in at the 90. Much better entry on that first one, and we didn't hold it, or 88. So I took the short 10 points lower, and it popped out of there. Not the smartest thing to do. Got about 3 minutes on this opening range. Let's take a peek at that. Just make sure that's set up correctly. Let's find that 930. So really, buyers coming right back in here, popping it up. Back above the 4,400 or the 14,400s now. Taking it back, maybe going to test the top of the range there. Got about 2 minutes left on this opening range. We'll see where it closes. See where it closes. Is it going to give us the B2C to the downside? Here's the question. We will participate short if the sellers do come in. Hard to kind of tell what's going to happen here, but got about 1 minute on that opening range play there. I'm going to go ahead and put my order on the book here. All right, we got the order on the book for the opening range. That's kind of in stone now. We'll see which side it takes first. Watching the WADA here. Was thinking about taking a short there, but just these did not kind of start building. Building in the other direction there. Retesting the 25s here. So we got the 15-minute opening range play on. We're not tagged in yet. I'll drag it over once it gets close. I guess we can go ahead and bring it over. I'll take this one. Over here. So you can see you got the sell down here, the buy up here. Let's see which one it takes first. Which one do we think makes more sense? Probably to the upside, right? There's more room there. All right, well, there comes the sellers. Testing the 400s there. Pushing through. See if it can kind of retest the 90. Seems like it probably can. All right, we took a little short there. So got our loss back, up 1,000 on that account now. Took a little short there. It's kind of the idea we were having earlier, but it didn't work out. So now let's mark out some levels here if it does take us. So we got to get to 48. 48.50 if it takes the downside. So at 48.50 we lock in 58.50. I like to mark these out. It just helps me to like see it. So at 48.50 we lock in 58.50 if it takes the downside, which is kind of what I expect. I don't love it. We do have a pivot down there at the 28s, which I guess our take profit would be before there. So let's just see what happens. So we're tagged in here. I was going to take this one off over here. So we're tagged in short. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see better. So kind of wick down, now pushing back up. We needed to put, let's just get this initial push through the 50. We can lock in some profit. That always makes us feel a little better about it. So let's get that initial push right down to the 50. Sellers coming through, looking okay on the WADA there. Just want to keep that, building that momentum up. You know, want to just keep this going higher, higher, higher would be nice. So Should test those 50s, I'd imagine. Should test the 50s here. We might get a bounce. If we get a bounce, I mean, it could stop us out, but we want to turn that range kind of into some resistance and get this push on down. So kind of want to stay below that 70, 75 area. I don't love that there's an imbalance up here. It might want to come back and refill that. It could stop us out. So let's just kind of see what happens here, though. We'll manage it appropriately. If it stops us, it stops us. If we get the, if it touches the 48, we lock in 10. So we locked in 10 yesterday. I can't remember what happened. I'm horrible about remembering how these strategies are playing out during the week. People don't believe me, but it's kind of a surprise to me when I come and I do the review videos. So ES bouncing off the VWAP, dollar chopping. Yeah, it's not good if the ES is at the VWAP. All right, so we lock in 10 there. I want to look at the ES, to be honest with you. Because if it's at the VWAP, that's getting close to where I want to take an entry. All right, so now if we get to 38, we lock in the 20. That's the idea here, but if the VWAP, if the ES is bouncing, I can't see it. I can't pull it up either. Yeah, we'll just follow the rules and go from there. That's all we can do. Want to see the sellers come on through here, push it down. There we go. So that's locking in 10 from our entry. Now we're either going to get 29.25. Well, technically, if we get to 33 or 34, we could lock in 30. ES is wanting to push down. I'd love to be looking at ES right now, but I'm in this trade. The area of interest for me on the ES is there at the 85, so let's see what happens here. All right, we get tagged out. Now we can take a look at the ES. So it's almost to that area of interest there. So we locked in, what, 20 handles there, 2 contracts. It should be, is that $800? I think so. I think that is $800. Let me move the we'll leave it here. 85 to 90 is kind of my buy zone on the ES there. Kind of. Oh, thanks, Predator. Those trades are easy. When you're doing those types of trades, you put it on, you do what it tells you to do. I'm just watching the ES. Let's see if it holds the VWAP and starts to push, or if this thing 85 is kind of the line in the sand, like Mancini said. If it holds 85, then we're in business for a move up. If it loses 85, just the opposite would be true. So you can see now the ES retest, or the Nasdaq retested VWAP and sold down to the target. So this would have been a scenario where you would have got the 38, but you got stopped out because you moved your stop, you know. Which, based on my back testing, moving the stop is the right thing to do. You could always, you know, make a case for not moving the stop, but moving the stop in those scenarios is typically the right thing to do. So like I said, let's see what happens here if ES can reach 85. So far, struggling to get through 88. Oh, boy, I was about to be mad. I just noticed this is on the practice account. I thought I took a trade on it. And I had not, so. So that's the only thing I hate, when this thing blinks off. All right, I'm going to take the entry here. I'm going to put my stop just below the lows. We're just targeting 4 handles here. Let's see if we can get it. Looking like it wants to hold the 85s and kind of break out here. Probably should have been in slightly sooner, but that's all right. We can 40. We can take. I didn't mean to do that. I might get stopped here. Might let one run up to 200s if we can get it. I don't love that. I guess I didn't pay attention here. The Nasdaq is below the VWAP, but should be able to start pushing here. We'll see. Obviously, if it makes a new low, we'll just be stopped out. I actually probably should have took smaller size and put my stop at 84. I don't even know if we got room for it to be at 84, to be honest. Yeah, we'll put it there. If we hit the daily loss limit, we just hit it. See what happens. Holding the 88 so far, so at 85 to 90 zones, kind of that support area. Got to make it stick above the VWAP here, though. Need to get that Nasdaq going as well. Coming into the top of the hour here in just a few minutes. Obviously, if it starts selling below the VWAP here, that'll be troublesome. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. I'll get stopped here. Yeah, stopped out there. Probably should have waited for it to test 85. I'm still working on my stuff with the ES, guys. I'm not great at it. My sizing is never, it seems like it's not right. And then, I don't know, you just don't get the breakouts and stuff like I'm used to. I mean, this thing pushed above the VWAP. I kind of expected it to go, but at the same time, looking back, hindsight's 20/20 there. It just tested 85 directly. Stopped us out. You're probably going to get a bounce now. Or if you lose 85, then your short would be down to the 70. So pretty much a wash between these two accounts here. We are up $800 on the other account, the 15-minute, and the we're up $11.40 on that first trade I took this morning. Yeah, $800. We'll move this over and show you guys. Doesn't appear to be blinking stuff out quite as bad. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Yes, rejected off the pivot. See, that's the thing, Captain Obvious. I got to have these pivots pulled up. I don't even have them pulled up on the ES, and that's probably part of the problem. I don't normally trade the ES. I'm trying to work it in. But I am finding that watching both is a little harder than I kind of expected it to be. It's a little harder to watch both. All All right, so we're going to move the ES over here off stream. And we're going to move the 5-minute accounts over here onto the stream. Because we're going to be taking the 5-minute fair value or 5-minute gap after 10 a.m. I mean, you can call it a fair value gap, doesn't matter. Same thing. Same thing. You just watch ES to see where Nasdaq might go. Yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. But now I'm using Mancini's information, and every day I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, his numbers are spot on. It's like today, he called out the 85. He's saying 85 is support. If we lose 85, we sell to the lows. But I should have just waited. But I guess FOMO got to me right there. Because it sold, you can see we just lost 85, and it's down to the 81 right now. Probably going to push into the lows. Look at this thing go. 79s. So it would have made a lot more sense to take a short than a long. I don't know. I just got to I got to do a better job at reading that. And I'm just using it on a regular combine, so it's not that big a deal, but still. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. All the way down to the 320s. Man, we should have held this short from the 405s, huh? Low down here at the 257s. Are we going for that? See what happens once we kind of get through this liquidity at the 300s. We'll see what happens from there. Yeah, I need to pull those pivots up on the ES though, because I got to know that. We need that info. Still pushing down. You can see the sellers pushing in here on the WADA. Let's get that WADA squared away there. So we just crossed over 10 o'clock, so we will be looking for the 5-minute gap after 10 a.m. Let's go ahead and switch over to the 5-minute here. That was a loser yesterday. The gap came in on the 11 o'clock candle. So there we go, pushing through the 300s there. There's that next draw on liquidity, or whatever you want to call it. Next down, 95. See if we make 95 stick here. Can we hold through there or not? All right, let's see what happens here. Bouncing here. We bounced right off the 300s there. I'm going to retest that pivot. What's going on, Kid Poker? How's it? Getting above the pivot there. 33s. Yeah, I guess 29s. Do we dare take a short here if the sales come through? Seems reasonable. Just kind of watching the WADA here. If they'll get the sales come through here after this little push back up. I really could take it here, but I like to have confirmation. I'm using such a short stop as it is. All right, we're going to take the short here. Keep a short leash on it. There we go. Easy peasy. Up $1,585 there. We hadn't made that dumb trade earlier where we moved our stop too quick, and then we entered 10 points lower. We'd be doing a lot better on it, but it's all right. You live and you learn, right? You live and you learn, or you just keep doing it again. Dollar rocketing up, says Captain Obvious. If it's rocketing up, then we should be rocketing down, right? I used to have the dollar right here on my trading view. I got some other stuff on here that I got like down here, a couple other charts that I haven't been using lately, you know, but I haven't been using this chart lately. I used to have the dollar right below this, another pane below it, and I probably should put it back on there. There was just went through a period of time where it was more, I don't know, it did more damage than it helped, I guess, and so I took it off. Where, you know, the dollar would be going up and price would go up. There would be a divergence. So it's just messing with my head, or whatever you want to call it. So how you doing, Kid Poker, this morning? You in the green? No, it's still early. Well, I was telling you guys, I do have to leave this. What was I looking for? I do have to leave this hotel room at 11. That's our checkout. So that's what time I normally. Oh yeah, I took it down. That's what time I normally have been ending the stream while I'm on vacation. So I may end it a little bit early, and if we're in the trade, it's not much I can do. You blew PA overnight. You took a long somewhere? Overnight looks like a lot of shorts. I guess it bounced. I don't know. I didn't know you traded overnight, Kid Poker. I guess right there at 335, it bounced off the lows. Reclaimed that VWAP. I was looking at this morning, and you know, because sometimes I trade the London session, and so I was looking and I was like, where would have been the good entry on this? There really wasn't one unless you just jumped in short at the open, right? Wasn't really a good entry on there. Sometimes you just gotta take that momentum. So, hey, we've all done it, right? I've blown PA accounts. I've blown every kind of account. I was joking with Nutty the other day that I'm way ahead of him in evals, and he thinks I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I mean, you guys can see I'm just in my just on what is this? I mean, look at this account number right here on Apex. Just on. Why am I drawing a blank? Quan Tower. Look at that. 44. That's the account number. 44. So that means I've had at least 44 accounts. So just on that Quan Tower. One trade, 250 point loss. Oh, that sucks. Were you awake, or did you just happen to get in it? 20 over the last 13 months. Not too bad. That's one. A little more than one a month. That's not that bad. I've probably blown funded accounts maybe, if I had to guess, maybe 20. Probably about the same. But I've only been trading for a year, and it probably took me 7 months to pass a funded account challenge, so. So the ones I've blown have been probably over the last 3-4 months. You know, you get those and you kind of trade them differently. You tell yourself that you're not going to, but you do. And then it ends up costing you in the long run. Oh, you weren't awake. Yeah, that's the worst. You have an awful temperament. Well, it's all right. I mean, you just got to work on it, right? That's all it is. It's just a daily battle, a daily grind. My problem is sometimes I jump into trades I shouldn't. If I watch the WADA, I stick to my ABCs. I do pretty decent. Problem is sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I feel like this is going to go somewhere. And then I take the entry and it doesn't. Those I feel trades get me. I feel like this is going to do this. No, it's not going to do it. Doesn't do it. So now we're waiting for, price to do something. I'm up 1,500 on this account. We're down $1,000 on the ES account. And we are up 1,140 on another account, up $800 on another. So we're green overall today. Guys, this is hilarious, right? So Streamlabs is working this morning. I've never, I got it connected to my OBS, but it's so temperamental when I'm at home. You can see it still says get 71% off Apex. And so temperamental when I'm at home, it hardly ever works. And now I'm on the road and it's working. With the wrong information, that should be 90% off Apex. I guess I could jump on there and change that. Are you using stops? Yeah, I'm sure he is. Market bias as well as tendencies to get me. Yeah. Let's see if I can change that right quick on Streamlabs. It should let me. So we're just waiting on the 5-minute gap strategy to play out here. It's telling me to log in. I don't remember what I logged in with. I have no idea. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry with it. You guys know it's 90% off. Oh, so you're just taking your stops off? Is that what you're doing, Kid Poker? Yeah, I've been playing poker all week, Kid Poker. I think you said you play sometimes. I'm up here in Connecticut. We went to Mohegan Sun last night, and I'm going to Foxwoods today. And I was at some other hotel, Harrah's. Where was that at, Stuart?
Bally's in Rhode Island.
Oh, Bally's in Rhode Island, I guess a couple of days ago. So. You're the worst loser. I don't believe that can't be true. We all lose and win in different ways, right? That's how it is. Yeah, I lost a big pot to a woman last night. I flopped a set of tens, and we ended up getting it all in the middle. And she had a flush draw, and she hit it on the river. It happens. It happens. So I was down 300 yesterday, but then I went over to the roulette wheel and slammed 100 down and hit that. So I was only down 200 after that. Only down 200 yesterday, but I was up 416 the day before. So for the trip, we're still up 216. Yeah, pocket tens. I waited to kind of trap her. She was hitting every hand. She had ace 4 suited. There was like a raise to 10 early position, 3 callers, and then I 3-bet to 55. She called me with ace 4 suited, which I guess is fine. I'd rather be 3-betting with that hand than calling with that hand. And then I had a 10 on the flop for a set, and I just jammed the turn. She calls. And she hit the spade on the river. You play blackjack a lot, huh? I never played blackjack. Never gotten into it too much. I'm no good at blackjack. Never played it really, so I wouldn't know the proper strategy. I'd be doing some stupid stuff probably. Yeah, I'll tell you what my friend did yesterday. So it was an interesting hand. I don't know. There was four clubs on the board, and he had ace of clubs, king, like ace king offsuit with the ace of clubs, and he checked the river. I don't remember the exact details of the hand, but I just remember the end of it. It was kind of funny. He checked the river. A guy bet. No wait, no, I'm sorry. He bet $5 on the river, and the guy raised them to 11. And he thought about it for like 2 minutes, and then he called. And he turns his hand over all sheepishly. He didn't realize he had the ace of clubs. He didn't see the four clubs on the board. That was hilarious. So, you played blackjack online, made $60 in 50 minutes, and took the money. Yeah, yeah, that's what I like about poker. I like to, I mix it up. I throw in some semi bluffs and stuff like that. We mix in some bluffs here and there. I was playing yesterday with the older people. We'll just put it that way. There's a different term for them, but we'll just say they were older people. And so the table didn't have a lot of action. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I like to play with people who are aggressive. I was pretty much the most aggressive player at the table, and I'm not nearly as aggressive as some people are. So the game just wasn't that fun, just because not a lot of aggression at the table. There was one guy who was aggressive. I did trap him with pocket aces. It was a 3-bet pot. He called me. He'd been being wild all night. I checked the flop. He jammed. I snapped him off. He did have an open-end straight draw, but he missed. So just trying to watch here and see if any gap forms. I really enjoy poker. I like to play it a lot, but I don't get to play it as much as I would like to. So the ES kind of holding up there at the 78 area. Just unable to kind of push through there. Feels like it wants that 71, that low. Just kind of grinding lower right now. You get that ES to kind of break through that 78 area. I think it moves to the 71s pretty quickly. The longer it holds up here, it might reclaim that VWAP. We'll see. We tend to take a poker trip like once a year. This is the first time I've came up here to where he lives. Typically we go to Florida or somewhere like that. Just hit some poker rooms. We'll throw some more money down on the roulette wheel today, see if we can't hit it again. See if we can't pick up the W. It's, you can say it's 50-50. Not quite 50-50 there. Close enough, though. Close enough. All right. Why does Price do this? I don't know why every day, like around 10 o'clock, it just starts chopping. And then at about 11:15, you get a move. You haven't played with live people in a long time? Yeah, I like playing live. I mean, I play online too sometimes. Not really recently because it's not regulated where I live. All right, so the ES is testing that 78 here. Oh man, this thing bouncing off the 78. Kind of thought the ES might get through there. Kind of looked like it might. And then it just bounced. It's just idiot boxing here, guys. I mean, grinding lower. If you're already short, then that's one thing. But if you're waiting for an entry like I am, it makes it hard to do much. All right, well, maybe the seller's going to come here and push it down now. I mean, I don't know. I could switch back over to this account and take another entry, but it's kind of like we're already up $1,500. Do we really want to push it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. About to blow your eval, Kid Poker? Well, hopefully it's just a $19 one. Market thinks World War III is coming. Yeah, you could think that. Here comes the sales. I mean, you could jump in here. I just don't love it. I mean, we did have a nice little push back up. That's kind of what I look for. Push through, push up. But it's nothing clean here. It's just grindy. I mean, you could say that it's going for the 57, right? And it might. But it very easily could just push back up to the VWAP. You never know. I mean, when you're looking at the 10-second chart and it's literally going sideways, this is the 10-second chart here. I mean, look at that. That's just not any kind of action that I'm interested in. Jason Floyd says he's up 875 on the day. Top Step Combine done for the day, sir. Nice. Nice, nice. It's always good when you can make your goal. So I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Are you doing the 50K there, Jason Floyd? This thing's so grindy. I mean, it's moving lower, obviously, but like, man, you know, if you just had like a risk-free runner on, it's one thing. But don't know how much sense it makes to kind of, I guess we got to drop it and jump in here. 150K, nice. Should have held your short from 400. I was saying the same thing, Captain Obvious. I mean, I was short up here as well. 405. Took profit at 88. And I moved my take profit on that one. I moved it down. You know, I don't like dealing with that 90 drama. Like a lot of times you'll get some choppiness in 90, but not today. Today we just said whoop. Right through there. Yeah, I got some 150Ks going. I'm not I made some mistakes. I accidentally reset my Top Step 150K a couple of weeks ago, and I was up $5,500 on it. So, They wouldn't do anything for me. They said, sorry, your mistake. It happens. All right, now we're going lower. Some sellers kind of popped through there for a second. Kind of got above, kind of a little, you know. Like I said, 57's probably up next, but maybe. What's the ES doing? ES is still holding the 80, though. It did push through there for a moment down to 76. It's got kind of the same look in its eye over here. It wants to go lower, but just grindy. I mean, I don't know. I could take a stab at this with smaller size. We could throw on one. You can see it's just holding that trend line there. Could reduce size to one contract and maybe take a stab at it. Maybe we do that. Risk what? 200? Yeah. Or 400? No, wait. That is 200. Risk 200 for 200? We might do that. So let's watch the WADA here. See if the sales start coming through if we push up to the top. So if you're going to short, you kind of short the top of the range, right? Short the top of the range, sell the bottom, or yeah, that sort of thing. You know what I mean. Sell the top, buy the bottom. So if we push back up into the top of the range here, maybe that's what we do. Like I said, only really risking $200, so be my luck. It's been trading in this range the whole time. Be my luck, it'll pop right out of there, right? It stopped me out. Look at it. Good thing I didn't do it yet. We didn't do it yet. Let's take a look at the ES. ES testing the top of the range as well. All right, let's see here. All right, if we're going to sell it, we're going to sell it there. So you can see where the stop is. See if we can't get this pushed back down. No sellers coming through yet. Like I said, really risking $200 here. It might get stopped. Don't love the look of it. It would pop out of there the one time I take it. All right, gave a little back there. That's okay. Like I said, reduce size. Reduce some size there. ES retesting the VWAP. Wow, look at it go. All I had to do was get short. That's all I had to do. All I had to do was jump in short. Play the range the one time. And she goes. She goes. Look at her go. Well, looking back, we probably should have took a long there, huh? Yeah, that would have made more sense. Not really, but. So the ES pushing back up into the 87s, reclaiming the 85. See if he can make it stick here. Or if it just pushes up, rejects the VWAP right there and sells back down. Let's take a peek at the 5-minute right quick. So potentially working on the gap. Oh yeah, knows to do the opposite. There's no doubt about it. Well, that's not the kind of trade I normally take, right? I don't normally take these kind of rangy trades, but like, hey, if it's trading in a range, maybe it stays in there. So I'll take it. And it said, nah, not today. All right, let's check out that ES. Is it rejecting the VWAP? Looking like it is. So this is a nice A leg up. We did just hit that pivot, and the ES just hit the VWAP. Do we risk another 200 here? So ES pulling back into the 85. Is it going to hold the 85? We're going to wait and see if this thing turns this area into some support to continue higher. I mean, if we get above that 30 area and start pushing here, I mean, the problem is you got the VWAP up there at the 50. If I see some buyers come in here, then I may take the long. Then we may take the long there. We'll see what happens. We do got the pivot there and the VWAP up above. We possibly are working on a 5-minute gap here. Small one if it can stay open. Just kind of watching the WADA here. Let it tell me what to do. So the ES unable to push above that VWAP and make it stick as of right now, but holding up there at the 86. A little bit of sellers popping back through here. Nasdaq's pushing back down. All right, why not? Why not? Really? All right, we may have to just kill this. It might just stop us. Just kind of watching the WADA. I mean, there's no real buyers yet, but it's still popping back up. I don't have my stop in a great place either. But I only wanted to risk 200, so there we go. We gave back 400 there, just kind of taking, I don't know what kind of trade you can call it. Momentum, FOMO, who knows what it is. So we'll stop doing that now and just only look for the trades we're supposed to take. GDP numbers were very strong. So yeah, just going to push up, stop me out. I really should have moved my stop higher, but I didn't want to risk anymore. Could very well just kind of test this trend line and then push back up, though. So that gap's already closed on the 5-minute there. The gap is already closed. And now she goes lower. Is it going to bounce right here? Or continue lower? All right, if I'm going to enter, I got to put my stop where it's supposed to be and not put it to where I just want it to be. Can't be doing that. All right, we'll go ahead and get back to our normal size here. So we're pushing below. I'd like to see a push back up into the 0405s here and then continue lower. Not getting the push back up just yet. ES holding up there at the 79s. Want to see it push right back above the 300s, just at least 0405s. Maybe the 10s would be fine too. Just watching the WADA. Kind of want to see some green come in here. This could be a B to C to the upside. You can see we still had this nice A leg up. This really is a lower volume B pull back down. It could hold here and push back up into this pivot, or it could go the either way. It's tough to tell here. Sellers trying to come through. I never really pushed back up for me yet. Didn't really push back up. I feel like I'm chasing it if I take it now, but that's what we'll do. We'll lock in a little bit there. 225. So we got that. We got 200 of it back. Still waiting on that push back up. Really want to see 05. Quick and easy scalp. Quick and easy scalp there. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. If you're not yet subscribed, you know what to do. I think we started today at 400 subscribers. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at currently. Now pushing down into the 80s there. Still at 400, so if you guys are watching and you're not subscribed, do me the favor. Do it. So shorts definitely, I was looking for a pushback up. We still haven't gotten it. Still have not gotten it. All right, possible gap here to the downside. Forming now. The ES is really testing. I think this thing is about this. Oh my goodness, I want to just take it. I really do. I just want to just jump in and just put my take profit down in the 50s. But we know as quick as we do that, it'll bounce. So we're getting a little pop back up here. Just watching the WADA. I'm going to definitely participate here. I may risk my entire profit. I don't even care. I'm going to risk the entire profit. We're going to put our stop to where it's supposed to be. And we're going to target these lows. Just want a little push back up. All right, holy cow, the thing bounced right away. All right, come on, push down. Need the sellers to come through here. Push her on down. This may not work out very well for us. She is grinding lower, so this is kind of a FOMO trade. I'll go ahead and admit to that. Certainly could have gotten a better entry here, but it's all right. Just want to see a swift push down here. All right, I'm going to reduce the risk here, guys. I'm just going to go to break even. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I could feel my FOMO kicking in there, so that's fine. That's fine. It's gonna go. I just that really was a dumb entry. It could go very bad there. So it gives you a chance to get out. You just take it. You just take it. Be happy with it. All right, let's check the 5-minute gap. So what do we got? 1 minute left, and we'd have to create another. So basically, this next candle would have to leave the gap open here. You know it's going to go to the 57s. We know it's going to go there, but how does it get there? That's the question. However it wants to get there, not caring that I'm in it. That's how. Now we're getting to bounce back up. About 20 minutes here left on the 5-minute gap strategy. Let's see what happens. So kind of retesting this area on the ES. I would expect it to turn this into some resistance right here. Now pushing back through there, pushing back into the 80. It's kind of popping back up here. ES all the way back up to the 80. Pulled all the way down to the 75. Bounced off 75. Lows at the 71 on the ES. So 4 points off the lows there. So watching the water, you can see that buy volume coming back in there. But the explosion line is below the dead man. It is below the dead man. All right, here comes some sellers. A little bit of sellers trying to pop in there. At least we got less buy volume. Well, now she just comes right on in there. Let's check on Nutty. Let's see how Nutty's doing this morning. I don't know. How is Nutty doing today? Let's get him pulled up here. It looks like he's... Can't tell. This screen is so small. He's red 571. Looks like 571. So strong push off the lows there. Kind of glad I closed that position. Well, didn't make it to the lows. This thing needs to make a decision here. What's it want to do? I mean, you can see we had a potential for a gap here, and it just whoop, closed it right up. It's 5-minute strategy. This is what frustrates me with it, is that, you know, you don't get a trade every day. You just don't get one every single day on that strategy. All right, it did fill this imbalance here on 3-minute chart. This is what we were thinking of earlier when it sold through the whole number. I was thinking, let's pop back above into the fives, the 05s, and then maybe we could have taken the short, but we never got it. And then I was like, oh no, it's going to go without me. Let me just jump in here, which you shouldn't do. But that's what we did. That's what we did. So the ES retested in 85 here. Got the VWAP at the 87s. Kind of pushing up into this 20 SMA here on the Nasdaq. Got the pivot point up there at the 30. You got the VWAP at the 45s. I mean, I don't expect this thing to go higher. I really don't, but who knows, right? You never know. You just never know. Let's see. Let's check Twitter. Let's make sure I didn't miss any good old tweets from Mancini. See if we missed anything. He says, precise rejection ES today. Squeeze trigger was 85 to 90. 05 target. No sustained rally until 05 clears as posted at 8 a.m. Chop now. 85 to 90 must hold to retest 05 for shot number 2. 71 supports. So he's saying 05, 85 90 must reclaim. So we just reclaimed 85. Nasdaq's pushing above the VWAP there. Got some nice volume coming in on the WADA. Testing that pivot. Kind of in a strange area here. You got the pivot. You got the VWAP all kind of clustered together. You think we might get a trade, JB? Let's look. Maybe. If that gap stays open. All right, we're clearing 30 here. I might take a shot. Might take a shot here into the VWAP. Let's take a little shot. We got to break even here. See if we can get this pushed through. Looking good on the WADA. Let's move this up. Let's kind of trail it behind. Could get a pop here. Locking in 100. So up $1,568 here. I don't like that tightness that we got there right through the VWAP, or right into the VWAP above the pivot, but seemed reasonable. The ES is already up to the 90s here. Mancini says 05 is up next on the ES, so want to make that, want to kind of push above the VWAP here, make it stick, and then go from there. Yeah, long would be fine. I don't mind it. So right now we are working on a gap on the 5-minute strategy here, if it can make it stick. So, you know, maybe like that area would be nice to keep it open. Something like that. We'll see what happens. Got 2 minutes left on this candle, and then we got 5 minutes on the next candle. So we want to make this VWAP, turn this VWAP into some support, and then maybe we can continue moving higher here. See what the ES is doing. Still pushing. We may re-enter here. Should have re-entered right there, actually, right off that 50. Yeah, volume's pushing back through. I got to pull back into that VWAP one more time. See if we can get a pull back into the VWAP here. Maybe we participate long again. You really got to make this VWAP stick here. Kind of watching the ES. If we push above and then we just lose the VWAP here, it's not going to be a good sign for the bulls. So let's see what happens. Yeah, still trying to push. No real buy volume coming in yet, though, in the WADA. Looking a little roundy up here on the 10-second. Just a little roundy, like momentum slowing down. And maybe she wants to just take a turn back down to this pivot. There we go. Now it's coming in. ES is pushing. I want to take the long here. My screen just went black. I don't know what's going on with that. I kind of want to participate long here, but could risk the $200 that we just, $120 that we just made. let's take it. I'm going to target the 90 here. I'm going to put my stop just below the VWAP. I'm going to watch the WADA. If this thing does not start pushing quickly here, then I'll take it off. Yeah, I'm just going to take it off. I don't like how the green didn't come in here on the WADA. Get your stuff packed up. I'm already packed.
I'm packed.
All right, so this is the scenario here on the 5-minute. So that's the gap so far. Let's see if it stays open. And I feel bad, guys, but I will have to end the stream. You know, I will take the trade. Don't get me wrong. I'll take the trade. I'll record it. I'll leave my laptop running. In fact, let me go ahead and hit record. So I'm going to record the 5-minute right here already. So even if I'm not here, I'll post a video of this later today. So you can at least see what the result was. You'll know what the result is if you're following the trade yourself anyway. So there's a 3-minute fair value gap around 70 area. The ones today we get a gap, it just flies. That's not the gap. It's a lower one. Oh, is there a gap? Okay. Oh, I guess there is a lower one. I didn't even see it. Good call, JB. Guess that's what happens when you don't see it, when you're not watching for it, right? All right, well, let's do the quick math on it then. What do I want to do here? This one, is this the right account? Why is this on 2? All right, first of all, let's make sure it's the right account. It is. Okay. So we're going to put our buy order right there. Oh. I didn't think I had break even on. Do I? No, guess somehow I do. All right, let's turn that off. We don't need that anyway. Not on this one. So the buy would go there. So 65.75. So let's do some quick math. So we got 315 minus 265. So 50. So it's 100 points. So we're looking for 415. 415.25 would be our take profit. Okay. And let's come over to the cash account. This thing is just mixing. I mean, it's like changing everything around. I've never taken two entries on that one. Now we are going to do the auto break even here. So if we got 100 points, let's see. So stop loss is at 50. So that's 200 ticks. That's pretty simple. Take profit would be 400 ticks. And then auto break even would be $300 ticks. And we would lock in 200. Okay, so that's that. Let's put the order on the book here. So I will leave these orders on, and if they get filled, they get filled. Boom, just like that. Yep, that's looking right. Move that down just a hair. Okay. There we go. So got to check out here in 5 minutes, guys. So I'm going to have to pack stuff up. I am going to end the stream here, but I'm going to leave it recording. And we will see what happens. We'll post the video later, win, lose, or draw, and let you guys see what happens. So appreciate you guys watching the stream. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Look for the video tonight. If we get tagged in, we'll post it. So We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.